Today I'm talking about some of the pros and cons that I think are important to consider when moving to Atlanta, Georgia, and we're getting after it right after this. Hey y'all, if this is the first time at this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, and playing in Atlanta, Georgia, then click the subscribe button and tap that little bell so you're notified every time we do one of these videos. And I'm getting calls weekly from people just like you who are thinking about Atlanta. So if you want more information, then reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me, even carrier pigeon. However you want to reach out, I got your back when moving to Atlanta. So you're looking at Atlanta and wondering what it's like to live here. Well, I've lived here for 20 years and I love this city, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So I'm about to give you some of my top pros and cons that I think you should consider when moving here. Let's get to it. Pro number one, the Atlanta economy is booming. With a GDP of $385 billion, the metro area's economy is 10th largest in the country and among the top 20 largest in the world. We have a host of corporate global headquarters here, such as the Coca-Cola Company, UPS, Chick-fil-A, AT&T Mobility, Southern Company. The list goes on and on and on. So we have a lot of corporate influence here on our economy. Atlanta has the 4th largest concentration of IT jobs in the U.S., earning us the nickname of Silicon Peach. Recently, Atlanta has become a major player in film and TV production with the likes of Turner Studios, Pinewood Studios, Tyler Perry Studios are only a few examples. We have some of the best colleges and universities located here. So college students, after they graduate, they tend to stay here because we do have such a large and diverse economy. It's fairly easier for them to find jobs here after they graduate. So that's pro number one. That brings me to con number one, and that's traffic. We've all heard about Atlanta traffic, and it can be a nightmare. So that's because the Atlanta region, it covers a lot of territory. The greater Atlanta area covers 18 counties, so there's just a lot of people traveling from point to point, whether it be for work or for their kids' soccer or kids' school activities or to visit other family members that may live north of the city and the person traveling lives south of the city. So you just have a lot of volume of people out on the streets. It's always rush hour in Atlanta. But seldomly do I sit in traffic because I learned my way around the surface streets and I can tend to plan my time for when I think that traffic would be down to a minimum. We are getting better at alternate forms of transportation. For example, the Atlanta Beltline, it's one of the largest redevelopment projects in the country and it's going on right here in our own backyard. There's the Path Foundation, so you can walk or cycle or get around using the Atlanta Beltline that also connects to the Path Foundation. So we are getting better at public transit, and hopefully as we continue to grow, we will continue to have increase in public transit. So my next pro is the climate. We have a true 4 seasons. Winters are fairly mild here, with the coldest months being January, February, and March. Yes, March. Believe it or not, March is sometimes the coldest month of the year. Occasionally we'll get snow, but sometimes we get snow and ice, and that completely shuts down the city because we are Southerners and we don't know how to drive under these conditions. So just a few years ago, we had a great snow apocalypse, if you will, when sleet started coming down early in the day, much earlier than was forecasted, so it caught a lot of people off guard. They had gone into work not expecting the big snowstorm to come in until later that night. Well, it ended up coming in at around 11 a.m. People were at work, and when they realized what was going on, everyone piled in their cars to get home. And by the time most people could get home, the sleet was probably 2-3 inches on the ground, and no one could drive. No one really carries chains or anything in their car here. It just isn't necessary. So a lot of people were left stranded overnight on the interstates, unfortunately, but that is so rare. It rarely ever happens. Now, the downside to the climate, which I don't really think is a downside, is the summers. The summers are super hot and humid, so it's a subtropical climate here, if you will. And I don't particularly mind it because it's what I'm used to. Now, my last con is being an Atlanta's professional sports fan. Yeah, Atlanta knows all too well the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. After all, we do have a football team that seems to blow it at least 3 weeks now in a row, up by, say, a very substantial lead, or what should be a lead, and in the last 2 minutes lose the game when we were winning by, say, 20 points. It's just how it happens. So we get a lot of chiding from other sports fans across the country about how we're not very loyal fans. Well, the situation there is that because Atlanta is such a transient city, a lot of people move here and already have allegiance to another, say, professional football team or professional baseball team. One great thing here that has united us all, and that is Atlanta's pro soccer team, Atlanta United. It's been such a fun experience to see a team get started here and just become such a fun experience for the fans to go to. It's so much fun, and we have been winning, and that's not everything, but it's just been a fun type thing. And lastly, one of the positives about living here is the cost of living. We have a really high quality standard of living here versus some of the expenses that you would have in other cities. We don't have near the taxes that you would have in larger markets, and the real estate market here is fairly decent, especially when you're comparing it to some of the larger cities. So I hope this has helped you if you're considering moving here. And if you still want some more information, I even have an interactive Google map I'm happy to send to you. Just got to hit me up. Until I see you in the next video, take care.